let's talk about Adobe getting sued over malpractice, more or less. Okay, because I have thoughts on this. Of all the things to sue them for, I agree with them suing on the factor of, like, what's the word for it? Cancellation fees, that's what I'm looking for. I agree with them suing over cancellation fees, but I am begging them to include somewhere in the case that the scraping of stuff will be removed in terms of scraping artwork, because my big concern, and for anyone who's watching this that may use Adobe products, whether you have to or because you simply opt into, my biggest concern right now is that Adobe is the industry standard for programs at the moment. And seeing such a big company make so many mistakes has me a little bit concerned, not only for rising students, but also like existing industry professionals, because whenever any form of poor service, maybe poor decisions. Who is suing Adobe? I'm a little in the dark. So, TLDR. The US government is suing Adobe over cancellation fees and malignant policies, or something akin to that. And essentially what's going on is that there's this whole freak out between the whole AI side of things and the artist side of things. And obviously, I'm on the art side of things. I despise, like, generative AI with a burning passion. Yeah, exactly. The fact that it is the US government that is suing them, of all people. Like, man, guys, way to rise up to the bat, so to speak, but the thing that I have the biggest concern over is that we've seen a repeated issue with companies like Disney and Adobe and everything like that, where they are going to continue making poor decisions that ultimately hurt their business. Because I have two perspectives on this, and I'm curious what you guys think on it. But I'm speaking both from an individual creator's side, but also a business person's side. So, because the thing is, from a business perspective, screwing over your main audience, or your main user base, in Adobe's case, is probably the worst decision you can make, because when you're doing something like this, it's like, attempting to make a quick buck over cancellation fees is obviously going to get you sued. And when it comes to stuff like generative AI, like, I was sitting there and watching TV the other day, and I was watching as, I think it was Meta AI that they were talking about. It's just like, hey, generate images at your fingertips. It's like they're playing off all of this stuff as in, like, you can generate images, you can get information right off the bat. The problem with these systems is that you're ultimately screwing over the people that use it and actually make the good quality stuff. I've done breakdowns of, like, AI-generated animation, and I'm using big air quotes on that. But you don't even have to be, even the untrained eye can notice how uncanny it is and how bad it looks. It's kind of like, let's take, for example, we'll use an art metaphor on this one. Let's say that you have a thumbnail sketch, like that very early draft of it. That is where AI is right now. AI does not know how to distinguish between quality and what has simply been put into its database. And the sucky thing is, it's literally just a circumstance of them trying to get new customers while screwing over their old customer base. Which, you're essentially cutting off your nose to spite your face, because you're going to lose the user base that you not only fed your system on without permission, I need to stress. So the people that you stole from, you're losing them. The people that were paying for your systems. And now you're going to get a bunch of people who aren't going to bother to pay for the new system because there's already better programs out there for them. Even asking an AI to make an image of words will just spew out gibberish from what I've seen. That's a thing too. I think a big thing that, and hopefully this serves as a comfort for any artists out there, whether it's musical or YouTube creators or like illustrators, anything. When it comes to the industry functions on notes and reiteration and adjustments. Most of the time, the people that are like bringing AI to the table, they know how to make the AI make a first draft, but the AI does not know how to take in the notes that they want because it doesn't understand what it's doing. An AI does not understand lighting, it does not understand the concept of like subsurface diffusion, or any form of physics, like any form of AI animation that you see on the internet right now. And I know I've gotten off topic from the actual issue, but just stick with me on this one. Is that it doesn't know what it's doing because, in the best way to put it, like this is speaking from a programmer's perspective, computers are really dumb. They are incredibly dumb. And they are only as smart as the people that are using them are. So, for instance, if you had an artist that was using the tool to their actual advantage and not stealing from people, that would be one thing. But the issue here is that you basically have this company that is foregoing its standard user base and moving on to expand their user base, which is ultimately going to lead in the downfall of the likes of Adobe. And we've seen the reason why I believe that they're doing these major cancellation fees is not only basically user base abuse, but it's also because they're trying to prevent people who have realized what they're doing with the scraping and all of the AI generation. They're trying to prevent the people that were paying for it from leaving. Because why would you pay over $100 to cancel something that costs hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year? AI art looks fine at a pacing glance, but if you look at it for more than 1 second and immediately see something's wrong, exactly. And that's the thing, is that from my perspective, what I'm seeing with this circumstance, passing glance, yes. But yeah, so what I'm seeing here, this is essentially them realizing that they messed up, and they're trying to prevent as many people from leaving as possible. And the fact that the US government, of all people, is intervening on something means that it's gotten bad. So, speaking from a creative perspective, I have not used Photoshop very much in years. The only time I've used it is for like YouTube thumbnails or something like that, but Clip Studio and Procreate are just way better art programs in general. It really just depends on your platform. I know there's other programs out there. I haven't done like a review on programs in years, so everything changes. There's always something new and something cool coming out. This is why I don't pay for Adobe or Photoshop. Exactly. I am writing off of my remaining subscription from my academic run, but after that runs out, I'm probably just going to look into alternatives, because the only program that I don't have an alternative for, at least one that I know enough about to be able to use in lieu of, is Maya. And even then, knock on wood, I hope that Autodesk does not pull some shit like this. I hope. But, anywho, so for those who are out there worried about it, we're just gonna ride out the storm. It's gonna be okay. But that's what I wanted to talk about. I know I'm a couple days late to the party, it's just because I've been busy. But I'm curious what you guys think on this whole kind of like debacle of Adobe and like just poor practices in general.